Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your girl, My Desire. Of course, the one and only Jamal is with me. What's up, Jay?
I'm just having my own little concert. I told you I'm waiting for the soundtrack.
Listen, the soundtrack, definitely. You know what it is. We are back with Big Old Belt Media, another review. This is a full review, like spoilers and all, for the Savage Fenty Show, Volume 4. So, what was your favorite part, Jamal?
My favorite. I'm not even gonna lie. You gonna laugh me out when I say this. I'm not even gonna lie to you. When Maxwell came on,
Mm-hmm.
yo, I literally had like a tear in my eye.
Not a tear,
I don't know,
sir.
and I don't know why but that song was beautiful. It always moves me,
Yeah.
but I can't say there's actually one specific part. I just think the ode to the throwbacks that we heard,
Mm-hmm.
like all the music of yesteryear, and just remember how it made me feel then and having a moment
Yeah.
now. And it was just,
Yeah.
oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But you got to take it because I can talk about that forever.
Listen,
But
I mean, I loved it. Like you said, I don't think I have like one favorite part. I love the fluidity, as I stated, in one of our other
mm-hmm,
reviews. I really just enjoyed how cohesive it came off. It integrated with a lot of animation, which we haven't seen in previous volumes before. So I'm
mm-hmm.
excited that that's that little tidbit in there that is something new and refreshing. Um, I think that just overall, it just blew my mind. I felt like I had went into a little bit of a fantasy world. It took me away from my regular day, and I was just
Mm-hmm.
here being able to let my creative brain just be like, oh shit, like you just did that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Exactly.
wow. Okay, cool. And then of
Mm-hmm.
course we got some of the features, I feel like up first, oh gosh, what is his name? Um I know we have. Dang, what is his name? It
You
just
talk about
it lost
models,
me. Yeah.
Winston Duke.
Yes, there we go. Because I was getting ready to call his ass Mbaku. Okay, that's what I was listening. Y'all see Mbaku on his screen right now? Because that's what I'm
Given
seeing. All
very
right.
much Mbaku though.
He
He's very
was.
much in his Mbaku bag at that point.
He really was. But I love I don't know. He has this very strong yet soft thing about him that is perfect for a show like Savage Fenty, of course.
Mm-hmm,
And then of
mm-hmm.
course your favorites.
So here's my thing. I don't even watch. I can't even think of what's the show.
It's the BMF, or I think it's Atlanta.
No, not that.
Not Atlanta, not BMF.
I
What's the
forget the
other
show
one?
he's on.
Snowfall.
There you go.
Yeah, there
I
we
don't
go.
even watch Snowfall, but I've seen a couple of episodes or whatever like that. But I loved his essence, and it was very much like very shy brother from the Five Heartbeats. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm just here, got my little braids or whatever. But it just I loved every. I know you're gonna ask me my rate of the overall show, but
Mm-hmm.
it was so many. It was just beautiful. It was like you take your grimiest of your grimy and make
Mm-hmm.
it beautiful.
Yeah.
Like who thinks to go into like something that looks like the haunted forest and then have all these colors and all these beautiful people, not just women, but people,
Yeah.
period,
People.
just coming through in these garments. It's what I needed for right now.
It was giving. It
It
needed
very
to give,
much.
and it gave. I feel like for me, was somebody who I'm not familiar with, right? Of course, Anita, the that you were talking about, and I was like, who is this? Like, okay, she coming out, showing out. You know what I mean? Like giving us a little body. All right, okay. But I think
Anita's
that
about to
just
burn it up.
listen, she did a really good job, and I feel like even with the performances, they all were they fit every single moment that they were
Mm-hmm.
intertwined in. You know what I mean? And so I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was really dope. I I personally, love seeing all of the beautiful skin tones that were
Oh,
present. You know what I mean? Like it was a sea of colors.
shades and tones and peculiarities just popping
Yes.
out
Yes.
everywhere, and everyone glowed beautifully
They
in
did.
that light.
They really did.
It's just,
Yeah.
Rihanna
I
just,
just
by
she's just,
me.
she's done the damn thing 4 times now, of course, and everybody looks forward to these shows. And I know Savage
Hmm.
Fenty line is just doing extremely well. I have bought things from there, and so I just feel like it really does take beauty to a whole nother level because you feel seen. You don't feel like you have to go into the gym and work out. You
Exactly.
can actually fit whatever it is that they have online right now as you are.
Hmm.
Now, if you want to go to the gym or whatever it is that you want to do, then you're free to do so because there's going to be something for you when you get to that chapter as well. But
Exactly.
I really just enjoy feeling like she's encouraging you to be sexy with who you currently are right now. When you look in the mirror and you put on Savage Fenty, like, say hello. You know what I mean? And I really enjoy that.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? It's like, y'all know I got a church background. It's like,
Uh oh.
when you little, and it's like, yeah, the elders like, go on, baby, do your speech. It's like they try to push
Mm-hmm.
you out there to do your
Yeah.
Easter speech or do your dance or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, and you so shy to do it, and it's really like she is pushing all of those faces or bodies or people who have been told
Mm-hmm.
no, you can't do that here. She's pushing them out to be seen. I mean,
Right.
volume 3, we had Shea Coulee and Gigi. I can't think of her whole persona from RuPaul's Drag Race,
Oh,
and
right. Yeah.
Jada Essence Hall, I think, in volume 3. And this season she had Cornbread, and Cornbread is losing some weight. She looking good. But she was always fine, whatever size she was. But she
Mm-hmm.
looked so beautiful to the point. I'm like, hold on, is that Cornbread or is that somebody else? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's the effect it has. Even with the NPC, because they was last season. I know in the other review you spoke to the NPC woman, and this
Right.
one she had an NPC man,
Man. Right.
and everyone just like everybody was on a snack game this
Yeah.
show,
Yeah. It
as
was.
they have been later.
It was fire. I liked I really loved the whole ponytail connection line that they had going on. I thought that was fire because the movements, like, you gotta
On
be
your shit,
coordinated, okay? Because
yes,
one wrong move and that's a whole
you
wrap.
scalping somebody.
Yeah, that's it. But I loved it. I thought that was so cool. It was different. The dynamic of it was just like all these, different people, shapes, sizes, colors, just connected together. And I think even that could be something that she intentionally did, right? Like, you don't have to be
Exactly.
the same. You can be different and still
Hmm.
work together for a healthy outcome of something. You know what I mean? So I really enjoyed that. And of course, I guess this guy, my thoughts on it, right? Like, I don't know, the whole Johnny Depp thing. I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what you got for me.
I think this works. So I have 2 points on this. Why is winning for him? As I mentioned to you before, off camera, this is kind of like it's showing another side of him, a side that not everybody sees, a softer
Hmm.
side, a side to show like, hey, you could look like me, be older, be a little rough around the edges and still rock this and it look good. But it's also a little bit of that redemption. Your man just got off with that whole defamation suit.
Yeah.
He won, so it's like I'm redeeming myself. I'm showing people I'm still that nice guy that they thought I was, even though
Right.
my name got dragged. Because he lost out on opportunity because of that.
Yeah, he did.
So this is kind of like a little redemption. He had a little smirk on his face. I mean, Johnny Depp was never that guy to me,
Hmm.
but I enjoyed seeing him in this setting. I would say that.
Right.
And I actually don't even like the color green, and I liked what he was wearing.
Listen, one of my new favorite colors is definitely green, and I am going to get me something green. So I'm gonna have me listen. We need to have a Savage Fenty Christmas party, okay?
Wait a
Like,
minute now. Hold on, because
let's we listen, okay? Let's ring it. Let's go on and do this because all you got to do is
because
send me
that could
one.
turn. Listen, Savage 50 could turn into 50 Shades real quick. You gotta be
Hey,
careful.
listen, cut it out. Cut it out. Get out of here. Oh my
I'm
God.
just saying, look at what she. So let's go there. Let's talk about some of the pieces because some of the lingerie, as like we both said earlier, it spoke to your body sizes, it
Mm-hmm.
spoke to your genders, but it was a play on some things. Like there was some things that might have been seen more feminine that are now on
Mm-hmm.
on a masculine man's body. There's some things
Right.
that were more masculine that she's seeing on a woman's body. What piece would you say that played on that stuck out to you the most? Because I have two in my mind.
Well, probably the young man. So he had on it kind of resembles, so it's like an under tank. I want to say it might have been kind of spotty-ish, leopardish kind of deal, and then he had on like actual briefs. And I thought to
Mm-hmm.
myself, like, of course, a lot of women like myself have been going into the brief game, because it's comfortable and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. But then that piece is anything that is going into like a lacy kind of see-through-ish
Mm-hmm.
type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
you feel like most masculine men wouldn't wear it, and so to see him in it, I was like, damn, he makes this look good. Because even just his body language, you know what I'm saying? Like the way he folded his arms, he was real like, yeah, I'm
Yes.
here. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So that would be my one moment that I choose for that.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't, and you know what I loved about that too? It was those actually weren't briefs. Those were actually shorts. Those are boxer shorts. They were
Really?
long. They were so here's the thing, they were long and lace. So that might be the reason why, because of the print,
Mm.
the X, that's probably why you only saw it because it made sure to hide the package.
Okay.
We can't
Okay.
be showing everything.
Right.
But that's one of my looks that I had in mind too, because of the fact that you have the lace that of course you see lace, the first thing you antiquated with is women's lingerie. Ain't no man
Right.
about to be in no lace, but this gives you permission to, and it's not skin tight. It has a little bit of
It's
room
loose.
for you to move. You know what I'm saying? So that was a
Right.
number, but that one young lady in the yellow, and it kind of gave
Mm-hmm.
me an essence of the TLC Creep video
Yes,
because
I know what
it
you're talking about.
wasn't, because if you paid attention, it wasn't like a full jacket number. It literally
Mm-hmm.
stopped at her elbows. So it gave you
Yeah.
that lounge wear that's still sexy with the bra. You know what I'm saying? You got
Yeah.
the silk pants. I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
Rihanna doesn't miss to me when it comes to that crossbreed. I hate to say it
Right.
like this, but that crossbreeding of, of sexes where you're masculine versus your feminine. Because I do think that I don't care what any man says. There's a little bit of him that wants to be like a little doted on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Want to be like, oh, this is nice, and it be not so heavy. Just like
Right.
a woman, women always play in men's clothes. Hell, y'all have clothes called the boyfriend jeans, the boyfriend
Hello, the
shirt.
boyfriend
You
shirt.
know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So y'all always get to play with our stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Now it's like we get a little bit of time to be a little soft if we want to.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
agree. I
I
mean,
love that.
I like it. And I mean, of course, just talking about as far as softer, um, I'm gonna jump ahead, but then we can go back. The Burner Boy has a performance in this
Love it.
show, right? And I love me some Burner Boy. And in
Girl.
my head, I thought to myself, like, wow, like this is very different. Like he has male dancers behind him, some of which who I would think they were considered more on the feminine side versus masculine.
Mm-hmm.
And so because I'm Caribbean American, I'm aware of like the culture, and I have friends who are
Exactly.
obviously from the continent. We all know this. Like they're very, very caught up in the whole homosexual behavior type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I wasn't shocked like too much because this is Rihanna that we're talking about. She's always gonna push the
Exactly.
envelope. But I was shocked just a little like, wow, like that's different. Like I didn't expect to see that. And I thought to myself, okay then, like, yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how people are going to react to that when they watch it.
I think people are have two takes on it. Whereas if you're a fan of Burna Boy, like you and I are, and you
Mm-hmm.
follow him, you know that he is the, he the dancer and everything like that. Like Burna Boy,
Yeah,
he
he
can
gets
move,
down. Yeah.
he gets busy. But I think also if you are open minded to the fact that we live in a society now where we're progressive, and
Mm-hmm.
now it's going to start those conversations, but it's still you could go either way with it, because it's like, okay, we're opening up, we're being more um not
Welcoming.
subjective but welcoming, we're being objective to, like, well, let's
Yeah.
see how this goes. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
has a seat at the table, whereas, but you can't go there and do that. Yeah,
Right.
you still got to be conscious of your
Right.
surroundings. But I thought it was beautiful, and it was easy. It was everything was just the colors, the movement, the lyrics of the song just went with it. It was just everything to me. I love
Yeah.
that portion of it.
Yeah, me too as well. And of course, we have Maxwell who comes out and kills it per usual. I'm not sure, but maybe you picked this up. Was he wearing anything Savage Fenty like? I feel like the band was. Of course, you could tell the women were
Yeah,
dressed, but I couldn't tell. I feel like I want to say yes based on the texture of what I saw, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think maybe the jacket.
Yeah.
I think, or maybe there might have been like the shirt underneath. I can't tell if it was or wasn't, because it does look like the jacket alone looked like something she would come out with. But
Right.
I'm not sure if it definitely wasn't as far as the lingerie is concerned. It might be
Yeah.
something else she might be pulling out underneath. But it was, I don't know. Maybe the shirt. I think maybe the
Yeah.
shirt, because I feel like the shirt was sheer.
Yeah, unsure. We'll have to see. We'll have to watch it, run it back again with everybody else, and see what we
Listen.
missed. But of course, his intro was beautiful. Like I love the whole Maxwell underwater thing. Like I'm such a fan, such a fan.
And
Um,
it did not. I did not pick up on that until just now when you said that. Like the man
oh
looked like
really?
Maxwell. Like he looked like
Yeah.
Maxwell. I did not think that until you just said that. Good
Mm-hmm.
job. I
Yeah.
knew.
I was like, this is nice. Like I like this. Okay. Another thing I liked was I think the progression, and what I mean by that is like the black women that she chose to have in the show, right? So you have Marseille Martin,
Mm-hmm.
who's on the very young side, then you have Taraji, who's in the middle, and then I'm gonna fuck this up again, but Cheryl.
Shirley.
Okay, there we go. I was trying, okay? I was trying. But I feel like I love the dynamic and the range of the black women that were placed in throughout the show, because it does give you that I saw myself, you know what I mean? Like, wow, like I remember when I was young and I was just first getting into lingerie and wanted to feel sexy. And then I remember
And
being,
thought she was
well,
cute.
yeah, and then now I'm in a space not quite where Taraji is. I'm still quite under that, but still like I get it. And I feel like you want to keep
Mm-hmm.
progressing to where you're like, man, I feel sexy at all stages, sensual in all stages, romantic and
Mm-hmm.
good looking in all
Youthful
stages,
and
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I
Shirley
really,
Ralph, I think, looked, if anything, she looked so youthful in this. Like, part of me was like, is that her? Like,
yeah.
who is that? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, eventually I was like, oh shit, that's Shirley Ralph. But she
Hmm.
looks so you. I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah. She
Rihanna
looked
did
good.
not hold. She didn't hold back.
She looked good. Did you see Taraji's tongue action?
Yes,
I
I was
said,
like,
oh,
girl,
oh,
okay, girl,
what you
all right
doing?
now,
Okay.
exactly, like.
Oh, okay, Taraji, we synced it. It was quick, but we synced it.
Mm-hmm,
I,
mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
definitely, I love this volume. I really do. I think it's going to open up conversations. As far as just like, I mean, for heterosexual relationships and or homosexual relationships, I think it's a conversation to ask your person if they like lingerie, what would they like to wear, and if they, like, listen, the season of gift giving is upon us. Okay, so it's
Very much
like,
so.
so if y'all want to send me and Jamal something, but all,
Listen,
listen,
because we can
my
talk.
size
I seen
is.
I've seen some numbers in this show. The scene that Marseille is in that you mentioned.
The walk, yeah.
So here's the thing that I picked up on, because remember I mentioned earlier about the, the play on masculine and feminine with the
Mm-hmm.
looks. I don't know if you noticed how all of the women had on different type of footwear. You had some in
Mm-hmm.
heels, you had some in tennis shoes, you had some in flip flops. You had like it's all like
Mm-hmm.
it showed like the interchangeability you could
Mm-hmm.
have in all of these pieces, and I was just like, damn, that's dope. Like you can something that looks so risque, but you see she got them on with some J's on her feet, or
Right.
some
Yeah. Yeah.
tennis shoes. Is
Yeah.
like this
I
is
remember that
sexy
now
but
that you mentioned it.
comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Because I'm a
saying? So
sneaker.
it
I'm a sneaker kind of girl. So for sure.
because I think Marseille had on like maybe some like clog heels or something
I
like
think
that,
so. Yeah.
like
Like
a
a wedgish kind of
block,
shoe.
like yeah, like a block heel or something like that. It was just all sexy to me, and like it has, like I said before, this show had that come hither like
Mm-hmm.
vibe to it. It's like I'm gonna give you a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah. The piece that Marseille actually was wearing, like, I'm gonna try and find that because,
that's
you know, but
I fucks with that. That's a day, what they call it, evening, a day to night wear.
oh
No.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You could. I
Hmm.
mean, so the thing about it is, I feel like it shows you how interchangeable your clothes can actually be. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
so I think that just and it's not. And I feel like for that particular part of the show, I feel like there was very variations of like to like like very risque to still very much conservative and like something that you would feel comfortable if you haven't gotten to that space where
Hmm.
you're like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, I want to show all of this. You know what I mean? And I like that because always trying to find my in between. My mom let her tell it. I'm always showing off my boobs, right? But for me, it's like it's just
And
as
they're
long as it's
lovely.
tasteful. Hello, listen. These are the I have not had kids yet version of tits, right? So for me, it's like always trying to be in that space where I feel comfortable and confident and sexy, but I don't have to do too much. And I really like that Rihanna just has all different kind of it just is for everybody, and I just love that it's so inclusive and for every stage that you might go through in life, essentially, like from the space that you when you get confident to if you're confident to not so much to I'm getting older, you know what I mean, like so I really just enjoyed the overall like wholeness of the show, and I mean I feel like everybody is going to really like it too.
I do too. And the funny thing I find myself when it comes to like lingerie and things of that nature, especially with the Savage Fenty shows, is that my the pieces that stand out as the sexiest to me be the ones that you're the most covered up, or it's
Mm,
covering something. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like it speaks to that volume of you don't have to be throwing it in our face to um I can't like I always have the words and I lose them. It's like
Well,
to you exude sexiness. You don't
mhm,
have to
mhm,
be
mhm.
giving it away.
Revealing.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
give us a little bit of a secret to make us wonder what's behind the curtains. And can I
Right.
say this real quick? To me, this show was I already said the music was like an old to childhood, but
Yeah.
the whole setting, because it's like if anyone ever like remember back in the days like, oh, I want to do this, I want to be in a, like you would have ideas of wanting to do something that was so not the norm. People like,
Mhm.
you can't do that. And then
Right.
here it is, it's like that. That's why I spoke to before, the Afrofuturistic, where it shows you, okay, we're on a rocks and it's like a galaxy behind us. It even gave me some vibes of like Aaliyah's 4-page letter, one
Hmm.
in a million type of situation. When they were in
Where
that
at?
fort in the very
Okay.
beginning, before Winston Duke comes out, that whole
Okay.
transition,
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah.
very
I
much
got
so
you.
that, very much total kissing you with the, where Maxwell was at with the whole little. It was just
Mhm.
everything to me. I'm gonna let you talk about your homegirl though. Our moment we had, that little dance break, that tremor
Oh,
of the
listen.
legs.
Listen, first of all, shout out to Riri throwing a nice iconic tribute to the one and only Janet Jackson. First of all, if that song is not on your sex playlist, then what are you really doing? Okay, please
Not
go
having
at it. And
sex.
it's a must. Okay, that song absolutely
The
should be
ending
on
of that
every.
song.
Hello. Hello. Okay. All right. As long as you know, I know. Okay. But the way that that dance starts out, the flexibility, the sharpness
Listen,
of her movements, I said, "Well, God
the
dang,
circus, so like the
I need to go
that
stretch."
leg shake moment, I was like, oh, she felt that. She's been there
Yes.
in real life.
Yes.
Like you can't
Yes.
mimic that unless you've been there.
Yes. I loved every moment about it. It was so dope to see like that center focus and then that pull out and then you see the
Breakout.
whole squad and I'm like, yo, y'all look killing it. Like this if it's anything that I wish I could have been in my life, a dancer by far. It's such a beautiful art that you can't even like when we talking about just from all of the times that we've seen dancing come from just on the streets, you know what I mean, break dancing to
Mm-hmm.
now to everything we have in between, ballet, tap, all of it. It's so beautiful when you see it structured in a way that's still
Mm-hmm.
artsy, that
Mm-hmm.
still gives you what it needs to give. I just whew, listen, I loved every moment of it. I was staring at the screen like, where's the rest? Like, give me more. Come back, come back. Like, I loved it.
It
I
was
really
that
did. And of
part.
course,
Mm.
yeah,
No, go
it
ahead.
was just dope. No, I'm just saying it was just dope. Like, I loved everything about it. Really, I did.
I'm trying to think of the song that was playing towards the end
Mm,
because all of the Caribbean and African breakdown. That's another thing that this show spoke to. The different cultures, not just being shown as models, but in the
right.
music,
And the music.
in the dance styles, everything like that. When you was talking about being a dancer, between that Janet Jackson moment and that moment towards the end when they were dancing and
Yeah.
breaking it down, it always makes me wish I would have kept dancing.
Listen,
And
I'm
there's
mad
one
that you
love I
didn't.
have that I miss out on. It is that dance. Is that
Yeah.
you can't get it back. But the show, what would you rate the show?
I would give it a solid 10. I would give it a solid 10.
I'm gonna be honest with you, only because of what I've seen from the past shows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it an 8 point. I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna
Okay.
give it an 8 because volumes 2 and 3 were everything to me. I'm not even gonna
Mm,
hold you. Those two, if you can combine 2 and 3, I was just like shit myself. Like I'm
yeah.
not even gonna lie. It was just that good. But I think it was long. I like the way, if I had to critique anything about it, I would say that there was no way to tell us it was over. Like that came out of
this
nowhere.
This one, volume 4. I kind of
Yeah.
like that. I kind of like the abruptness of it actually, and a reason why. And so this is just personal experience, which obviously is
Uh-huh.
for you, right? So I'm a creative where I need it to be very succinct. I need it to flow. I need to get all of my moments in my brain where it's like pew pew pew, like oh we didn't
Mm-hmm.
see that coming. Oh this is nice. Like okay, like I get that, you know. So I think that for me that's why it stood out. And also, I was kind of excited. Like, it left you wanting more. Like, it left you wanting to go to the website and possibly like see what you know, like if she's dropped any little videos or anything like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
also what kind of what the collection is going to be itself initially as well. So I'm always good for a cliffhanger. Like I like being left on the edge of my seat because like give me more. And I think that that's something that plays into people's not really craving, but kind of sort of like, man, like
The mystique.
yes, like you love Savage Fenty. You're gonna watch the show, and then you're gonna be like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, I need to go get something real quick. Like I'm gonna be back.
I
I'm gonna
hear
be back.
you. I hear you. I get you on that. I think for me, in all honesty, understanding that, but knowing that fashion is so subjective, especially
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to different seasons,
Yeah.
even if it's not a cliffhanger that you can pick up in the next season and take it
Right.
there, depending on how the seasons may change and you know how the times in fashion may change. That's just
Mm-hmm.
from my point of view.
Right. No,
But
I get that.
the energy of everything that was going on, it was so at a high pace for it to just end
Mm-hmm.
like that. It's like, well, where the rest?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I get
I
you.
guess, I guess the cliffhanger would turn it on for you, turned it off for me because I'm
Hopefully, yeah.
like the end of Would You Mind? Like I didn't even get to come. Like what
Yeah.
the hell?
Hey, listen,
Like
I like
where's
how you
this part?
slide that in there.
Like how you
I
going to get
love
me
it.
to? Like how you going to slow me down off this ride? It's like you just open up the door and I just went flying. You ain't apply
Yeah.
brakes. It's pressure
Yeah.
all the way. But
Yeah.
I will say this though. Shout out to Rihanna for coming through and showing us that baby where. Like, yes, I just had a baby and I'm still
Mm-hmm.
in this, showing
Mm-hmm.
y'all,
Yes.
giving it to y'all. Even if it's just on, on mild. I'm
Right.
still here. So I love that. And
Mama Riri
oh,
showed up.
I love the tribute because there was a moment that we had for the men. I don't want to miss that real quick,
Yes.
where
Yes.
the men were very present in this show. I don't think that there's ever been a point where we see the men transition in the way that they have
Right.
in the previous shows. Like it's
Yeah.
okay, obvious this is for the gays, or this is for the questionable, or this is for the metrosexual, whatever. Nah, the
Right.
transition from this type of person, that type of guy, that type of guy. I loved it, especially with the tribute to oh my god, what is his name? Pop Smoke. That
Okay.
whole
Okay.
tribute with the drill and everything like that, that drill movement, I thought that was so dope because
Yeah.
excuse me, it also shows you those gays that you're not used to seeing that get
Mm-hmm.
busy, and they showed out in that portion of
Yeah.
it too. So
Yeah.
so it gets an 8.5 for me for that because I forgot
Yeah,
about that
yeah.
part.
I was gonna say I did like the transition and how different they showed the men in this
Mm-hmm.
series for sure. It just it definitely does open your mind if you're not accustomed to seeing a certain kind of a certain kind of
Mm-hmm.
man. But I think that being able to see and almost kind of honestly to be confused or unsure, because that gives people that thing where like you can't judge a book by its cover. Like you need to ask questions.
Exactly.
Like don't assume, you know what I mean? Because some of the movements, like we talked about earlier, some of the movements will
Mm.
be considered feminine, but they had masculine energy to it. You know what I mean?
Thank
So
you.
I just feel like they did an amazing job at just saying like, hey, we're here. It doesn't matter, heterosexual, homosexual,
Mm-hmm.
non-binary, unsure, whatever the case is. They really did a good job at just mastering the presentation and what they wanted to give us when we watched it for sure. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. I think it was beautifully done with that. Rihanna, just keep doing what you've been doing with the. I mean,
yeah,
I know it's not just her, but
right.
everybody behind the Savage Fenty microcosm
Team,
that it is.
yeah,
You. I think the inclusivity of every genre of people, every age, race, sexuality,
mm-hmm.
skin tone, body shape. You know, everybody just how they say, oh, everybody's beautiful. You can't, there's no such thing as an ugly baby. We've seen
Right.
some babies that have been challenged, but it's being honest.
Challenge.
But in this realm, any part of any part of society where you've been told no, or you're not an example of what beauty is in
Mm-hmm.
our eyes, everybody was beautiful in this. I will say that.
Yeah,
Because there's a
yeah,
couple of Jet
absolutely.
Lees in this. It's a couple of Jet Lees I was looking at in this show now.
Yes,
God, I'm
yes,
being, these are just jokes. But I'm just saying, it's some fortune
yeah.
cookies that I would like to unravel.
I hate you. I'm so finished. Listen, but no, the show was amazing. Definitely,
It
you
really
guys
was.
come back, tell us your thoughts, what you liked, what you didn't like. Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. Who you with? You with me? You with Jamal? It
Hmm.
doesn't matter. How did you feel? Do you want any pieces in here? Let us know your
What
thoughts
pieces
and
are
your
you
feedback.
buying?
Hello, because I'm going to the Savage Fenty right after this. I got some stuff. Do they take Klarna though? I think they do. Right? They take.
Listen, please don't excite me with a good time because I was just about to say, hold on, wait a minute, because Klarna be on. Klarna is
Hello,
clutch.
hello, because that's
If
all
y'all
I'm
don't know,
saying.
y'all need to know.
I'm finna find out today, okay? But as always, we sometimes are here for a short time or sometimes a long time, but we always here for a good
For
time, okay?
you better know it.
Hello. So until next time, we shall see you. This is going to be airing November 8th on Amazon Prime. And let us know your thoughts. Savage Fenty Show Volume 4. Here's another review from Big Go Bell Media. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Deuces.